Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Molyneux Ravenberg here again, and this time I'm going to discuss my work with, as I describe it in my article. And again, for people that are watching this YouTube video directly, links are in the description below that lead to my article and to my web shop. I'm going to discuss, as I label him, my magnum opus. This is the biggest or the grandest the grandest spirit that I have invoked aside from my patron, and I call him, for that reason I call him my magnum opus, which is the Seraphim Angel Zacharija. A brief introduction. The Seraphim, for people that don't know what a Seraphim Angel is, these guys are the highest order of angels. These are the angels that are the closest to God, and they're practically labeled as God's bodyguards because they are the closest to God's throne, and they basically defend him, and they just surround his throne. They're basically the equivalent of of the National Guard, or the National Secret Service, whatever you want to call them. In any case, the guys that protect the president himself, the president's own bodyguards. Um, and I really wanted one because I'm incredibly fond of fire within the occult, as fire stands for power and energy and everything associated with it. So I approached my patron, the Archangel Samael, for information on one, and he didn't want to give me in the beginning. He was like, nah, it's too dangerous. No, 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 no. But after really nagging him, he was fine, 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 so be it. This is his name, these are his specialties, knock yourself out. Figuratively speaking, that's what he said. That's what he says, figuratively speaking. He's laughing right now because that's not literally what he said. He didn't say knock yourself out, but you catch my drift, okay? That's what he meant in a figurative sense. Um, and like I state in the article, when I first invoked him, he was definitely, wow, that was the most difficult summoning that I've ever undertaken. He was incredibly rebellious in the beginning. And when I say rebellious, I mean that he was not even remotely compliant. He was just rebellious and defiant in every way, in every sense of the word. I'm talking about he was acting like some kind of spoiled 20-year-old, basically adolescent or teenager or a young adult or a teenager turned adult that just turned 18. And he just started swearing at me, you name it, asswipe, imbecile, you name it. And he did not want to listen to a thing I had to say. Not that I was commanding him, okay? But I did remind him sternly that, hey, listen, I'm the one that summoned you, so I expect you to show me a certain level of respect. And yeah, he just kept yapping on and on and on. And I asked him to prove his powers to me as a test and to burn down a patch of land, but he didn't do that. For that same reason, that he's so defiant and irresponsible. Um, but my patron says that he told me that he would talk to him because he also falls under him. And he told me that he talked to him and make him see the error of his ways and render him reasonable and so on. And yeah, he did just that. Right now, if I invoke him right now, he's completely reasonable. His attitude has changed. Let's just say that he's turned into an adult, a mature adult, attitude-wise, and now he's willing to discuss things with me in a normal way. He's reasonable, fair, and he is compliant. He is compliant now, but it took some work. The reason that I'm so attracted to him, he's definitely one of my favorites, but unfortunately, I don't have a chance to work with him. I rarely get a chance to work with him because I have no need of his services, somewhat, and no customer approaches me. I haven't had a customer yet that wanted something that he specializes in, so basically something in a destructive nature. He corresponds to Aries. Just let me check. He corresponds to Aries, but and the amount of the exact amount of degrees that he corresponds to is 11, which stands for, let's just say, imbalance. It stands for someone that can be incredibly reasonable, or the exact opposite, someone that's incredibly unreasonable. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As I already stated, that only confirms what I just said. And interesting thing is that most spirits that I work with are rulers, in the sense that they have spirits under them. The first time when I started doing information on him, when I started gathering information on him, or when I tried to confirm things by via astrology and so on, I thought I was making a mistake because I kept getting incorrect results. I kept getting incorrect statements. For example, he corresponds to the moon and whatnot, and I was like, no, that's not correct at all. I know that he's Martian and that he corresponds to Aries, but I want specific information on him. It's only after a while that I noticed that he's not a ruler. And that's the thing about Seraphim Angels. These guys are like members of an order, the order of the Seraphim, and they have no spirits under them, to put it that way, in a traditional sense. The same way that the archangels do, for example, or even regular angels, even fallen angels have minions under them. But these guys are independent. They're like independent hitmen. Hitman, yeah. They're like independent hitmen or independent assassins, and they have no one else that works under them or anything like that. They're completely freelance and independent. And it's only after I noticed that, it was only after a while that I noticed that, and I was like, oh, so that's why. So I did get the information that I wanted on him then, and wow, yeah, his power is clearly noticeable in in the astrological chart and everything. I mean, it's really noticeable. It's one of the reasons I like him so much, and I can sense his incredible power too. So if I were to assign this guy a task, if I were to ask him to help me out with something, for example, destroying someone or something like that, oh, you can bet your ass that he'll get the job done like no other, assuming that all the factors are in the right place and that you're entitled as a querent, as a question asker, or as someone that is filing an inquiry towards him, that you're do what you're asking him to do, that you deserve it, that you deserve to get what you want, then yeah, he'll get the job done like no other. Because even other questions that I've asked myself, even when I was assigning him or thinking about assigning him tasks to in my own personal life, for example, I wanted this person destroyed, that enemy destroyed, and I confirmed it via astrology. Almost every time that I confirm it, the results are overwhelming. The results aren't just one thumb up, the results are two thumbs up, and the results are basically saying that entire chart, that entire astrological chart is saying full speed ahead, go ahead. And yeah, it just simply denotes how powerful the Seraphim are, and I really love him. Regarding appearance, like I said, he appears as a stereotypical appearance of he takes on a stereotypical appearance of a Seraphim angel, an angel that is dressed in white and sometimes in black with a red or a black cord around his waist as for a robe. He has blonde hair, wavy blonde hair that comes down onto his shoulders, and he has 6 wings, of course, 6 red wings. And other things that I noticed too is that the entire room became incredibly hot the first time I invoked him. And even when I tried to burn his seal, the seal caught fire to the point where I almost burnt my fingers. I mean, I literally just did this with the lighter and boom, it immediately caught flame. And I was like, wow, you're an asshole. You're a real asshole. But yeah, he's great now. And I remember he also has a scroll in his hand. And I asked him, what's the scroll for? Or why are you carrying a scroll in your hand? And his reply was literally, none of your damn business. And I was like, okay, never mind. But in any case, yeah, that's it for him. Unfortunately, I have no tasks to assign him to. He wants to work with me too now, since he's reasonable and compliant, and I want to work with him, but unfortunately there is no work for him, literally and figuratively speaking, so he's unemployed in that sense. Yeah, in any case, that is it. That's the benefit, okay? The benefit is that he belongs to the first order of the angelical hierarchy, the angelical power structure, and first order spirits, first order angels are powerful as fuck. These guys are powerhouses. These guys are God. They're just the best at what they do. No pun intended. God. The drawback is that you'll really have to devote yourself to them, and you'll have to be determined in working with them. Only then will they loosen up over time and be actually willing to work with you. You basically have to prove to them that you are worthy, that you're worth their time. And that's it.